Welcome to Coastside Poetry. Thanks to those of you who've zoomed in and those who are watching on YouTube. We meet virtually on the second Tuesday of every month to celebrate spoken poetry. I'm Diane Lee Moomey, and Steve Long and I are your hosts this evening. Our featured poet event is being recorded and streamed live onto YouTube as we speak. So anyone can look at it later. We'll be posting the link on our website, coastsidepoetry.org. This evening, we welcome Bay Area poet Joel Thomas Katz. Joel lives in Palo Alto. His poems have appeared in Sandhill Review, Montserrat Review, West Wind Review, Spillway, Caesura, DMQ Review, Red Wheelbarrow, and McQueen's Quinterly. His latest books are Aqueduct and Erase, Endure, both published by Dutch Poet Press. Joel has also co-translated poems by contemporary Dutch poets Ingmar Heitze and Saskia Stehauer. You can visit him at joelthomaskatz.com. Please welcome Joel.
Well, hello, everybody. It's a pleasure and honor to be the featured reader here this evening at Coastside Poetry. And I'd like to especially welcome my friends that are viewing all this via YouTube. Thank you very much for showing up and for your support. So I'll be sharing my most recent poetry collection called Aqueduct. It came out in October 2023, and it turned out to be poems related somehow to dreams, dreaming, dream states, flights of imagination, and things like that. And I say it turned out to be that because I had poems that I had written over a certain amount of time. I didn't know what I wanted to do with them and all that. And I thought, well, maybe they're related and all that. And then I ran across a quote. You see here from the American poet Arthur Z, S-Z-E. And the quote is, "Yesterday you constructed an aqueduct of dreams." And then it became clearer how some of the poems might be speaking to each other. That quote is the epigraph for the whole book of Aqueduct. So before starting in, I'd like to talk about how the book is structured. There are two bookend poems. Notice how he likes to use his hands. So the first poem in the book talks about a picture on a particular postcard, and the last poem in the book does the same kind of thing. Then there's first section of the book. It has a whole bunch of poems. There's an interlude in the middle, which is a short essay on sleep. And then we have the third section of the book, plus that closing, closing postcard poem, different postcard poem. And it seems to me, looking back on the book, that as the book progresses, the notion of a particular dream or something like that, or the act of dreaming, kind of expands into considering what we mean by imaginary things and what we mean in general about imagination. The other feature of the book is the pacing of the poems in the book. Every so often I have some very short cryptic poems, which I call palate cleansers. So you'll see how that works. So let's begin the book with the opening poem. It's called picture postcard, man reclining on ... A man lying, on piles of flattened car bodies, on his back, with eyes closed, dressed in white shirt and black pants. He dreams of Italy. He dreams of pasta. He dreams of lasagna because there are 6 layers of crushed cars beneath him: Fiats, Alfa Romeos, Lamborghinis. Any place is a place for dreaming, even hard ruins. Okay, so we're now in the first section per se with a poem called Dream Log. Inside it, I managed to say, this is a dream. I was emptying my heart of the freeway, but the dream got tired and so halted itself. It was not the one I had planned on. It was different than the one with atoms clanking against each other, or the one across the street from his school, children milling around, ringed by dumpsters. Toward the end, I said, this is still a dream. In Hebrew, dream is chalom, just one letter away from chalon, window. This next poem, I think the title is longer than the poem. It says, Snapple fact number 1368. A neutron star is as dense as stuffing 50 million elephants into a thimble. That's the fact, right? I feel the need to create something light and more roomy, a space for someone to enter. I tell my sister that since May, it's been 5 months and Dad has yet to appear in a dream of mine. She says, did you ask him in? Blacksmith. Today, you are an animal whacking a metal arm into an idea. What the bellows add, elbow room. The sparks, drama. And your tongs, detachment. Today, you are an animal. Some other day, just a washcloth. Heating the metal over the forge turns it into what a dream isn't. Durable. Again and again, whack, sparks, hiss of cold water. A dream lasts till the coals die, and that is the end of one night. An ingot. Okay, now we have a palate cleanser. And each of these begins, the dream was. The dream was a paper bag with 2 eye-hole slits. The dream oozed off the counter onto a just polished wooden floor. The dream did not work as advertised. Did you see the dream pass by? No, but I caught a faint whiff of bleach. Boeing 737 window seat. People on my plane have lots to say. The carpenter's plane has something to tell the plank. All those dropped feathers. Meanwhile, the woods are busy quieting hikers, becoming a forest. This morning, a guy outside Starbucks said, quote, The next time I get knocked unconscious, I'm going to tell the Lord, don't feature me in your stinking soul parade. His vow, now an airflow lifting the 74 tons of my plane. The sky is stupid with clouds. Last night the dream tried to withhold, then relented and said, not everything is a dream. You have been granted words and so many ways to stumble. Okay, in this next poem, there's the Spanish word bailaora, which means a female flamenco dancer. And then at the end, there's a kind of reworded quote from Gertrude Stein. Here we go. Last night's dream involved a thick-heeled flamenco shoe floating along a lit corridor, leading 5 bailaoras who slowly stamped their way along, arms proud. No frilly dresses or castanets, no combs and pulled back hair, nothing extra, just the sound. A message for me, or for my sister, who's reached an impasse with her flamenco lessons. What to do now in her Pittsburgh attic with its wood floors and full-length mirror for checking her footwork. Maybe we should both dance, quote, a clean dream and make more mistakes than yesterday. A palate cleanser. The dream was radish slices, slightly astringent. Okay. We're now in the middle of the book, and there's an interlude called Short Essay on Sleep. And it has a quote at the top from Lisa Fishman. Don't be silly like a pillow full of atoms. Short essay on sleep. Sleep, like soup, sharing 2 letters and the same consistency. Sleep gathers in the corners. Soup nests. Soup may contain letters and sleep may contain words. Soup doesn't intentionally misspell, and dreams don't intentionally mislead. Through symbiosis, one may dream of soup. Sleep is to dreams as tureen is to vegetables. Bread goes well with sleep. Soup rises, sleep descends. Sleep can be punctured like a tire, though people seldom tire of soup.
You okay, Ham?
Soup deprivation is not dangerous. Soup happens when lightning hits a bowl of sleep. So that's the middle of the book. And then we get to a second section where there are kind of extended notions of dreams or reality or imagination. This next poem has the title Kine, K-I-N-E, which is a older plural form of cows. Kine. Every other cow swats her tail at the daytime moon. The rest maintain a grating silence. Or are they asleep, standing open-eyed? In their dreams, cows perceive the days lengthening. Some notice a circle of nearby humans closing and opening their mouths. The odd-number cows decide to lie down and smother some grass. The evens worry their multiple teats, superior to whatever humans have. The moon scoots over a bit. Half the cows are chewing over what else to do. They conclude that odd and even do not apply to humans. The next poem is entitled Diptych, and if you know something about art, a diptych is like two art canvases that are close to each other or maybe hinged in the middle. And the poem is set up in just that form as two large columns. You'll hear about certain Mexican dancing horses, and they're kind of like the Lippenzahner stallions that you find in Austria. So we'll get to them in a few seconds. Diptych. Fog Bible for the perplexed. In what way does fog speak to our befuddlement? It forms a pillow where one finds comfort from the insistent. Animals know they are asleep, and animals know they are dreaming. Even the armadillo who rolls up into a leathery shell when attacked, even the dancing horses of Apatzingan. So that's the left panel. The right panel. You dip your hands into the waters because you are dumbstruck. Then dip your hands again to find words for it. The stream is unconcerned, busy being aqueous. When everything shimmers from accumulated proximity, then what? Animals know they're dreaming when humans become silent. Okay, we have a palate cleanser at this point. The dream was an exit sign read in a darkened theater. A misplaced can opener. Scarecrow in a field of no corn. All right, so the poems in the second section progressively get a little more imaginative and perhaps out of hand. So the title of this next poem is a quote from the American poet James Tate. I was thinking about the potato salad in an unstable environment, how it threatens the city's potholed streets and tenements with its picnic exuberance, how potato salad overshadows main dishes and, being unstable, sheds its isotopes, eventually leaving behind an inert radiance. Or is the viewer unstable and the potato salad is a potato salad is a potato salad? Does it matter whether it's served on fine china versus stuffed into takeaway cartons from the local deli? In a world swirling with spatchcocked chicken and helium-chilled peach foam, I would choose the potato salad takeaway carton 8 times out of 10. Yet between two dreams, I'd pick the one more convoluted. Okay. In the next poem, the title runs directly into the body of the poem. The forest was tired and really needed a break from being a forest. All those animals, all that shade, wanted a stand-in for a few hours. Oh, how the forest longed for a compact situation, cafe, bowling alley, or an art movie house, so appealing midday. And why not take off the entire day or even a weekend? It all came down to the pool of availables. It was time to contact placeholders, see if anyone was free. Then the forest decided not to return. The stand-in stranded in the clearing, waiting, waiting, till the only thing to do was call and report a forest missing. Okay. This next poem is called Angel Coma, and it has a quote from the Italian literary theorist P.B. Almoni. Angels visit because they're curious about our condition, not having any children of their own. Angel Coma. Not last week's disoriented angel who kept bumping into fences and wore a robe of scars. Nor yesterday's angel who suffered a stroke, left wing drooping, flying in circles. Today was different. One particular angel fell into a coma. How could that even happen? A cohort of healthy angels gathered around their stricken one, each creature's wings touching its neighbor's. They gazed at the motionless one, each praying to be spared. Truth is, like humans, some angels are more ready than others. And then finally, here's the bookend poem, which is another picture postcard. Woman climbing into ... A woman in high heels and black gloves, holding a branch in her left hand, is trying to hoist her body into a ship's porthole. Her upper half already through the circular opening, left arm with a branch not yet inside. The branch held upright looks like a wooden candelabra. Her legs are lifted and tucked against her bottom, so the heels stick out at odd angles. What you don't notice at first, the rivets along the top half of the open porthole. Or in the bottom right corner of the photo, a metal cleat for ropes at the same angle as her still struggling torso. The rivets, the cleat, the metal ladder to the left of the porthole. What else slips past you as the woman climbs back into her dream? Thank you.
Are are you taking an artful pause, Joel?
No, that's
You-
it was a short presentation,
oh, okay,
but
okay.
if people have questions or something like that, I'm happy to hear that.
Great, great idea. Let's unmute and make noise. Oh.
Very nice.
Woo!
Way to go.
Right.
Yippee!
Very
Good to hear you,
original.
All
Joel.
right.
Woo!
Those were really fun, Joel.
Dreams.
Really visual and just fun for the brain and the senses, and really original and delightful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Love the angels. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't usually think of angels that way.
Oh my gosh, the one with the stroke flying in circles, that was such an image.
I love the dreams and how much they are expected to put out or undertake.
Yeah, I mean, you need a lot of energy if you're a dream. I mean, there's potentially a lot of stuff you have to accomplish. So
Your poems are your very own, Joel, and I love I love striking, surprising conjunctions. And yours are wonderfully full of those kinds of things and discovery. Are you familiar with the work of Ken Patchen at all?
Kenneth Patchen,
Yes,
the San Francisco poet,
yes.
from the 70s, right? I've read some of his poems. He was known for reading poetry along with jazz musicians performing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And he liked or invited or enjoyed the kind of improvisation that comes where words meet music and then music goes and then words. So it's not all worked out ahead of time. It gets its energy from being a live improvisation reaction to all the participants. Yeah.
Well, your words and your poems are very much surprising like his. That's all.
You know, there's I just remembered, the American poet Robert Creeley gave a poetry reading somewhere. And afterwards, one of the audience members came up and asked him something like, are those your poems or did you just make them up? So,
Oh, I've always enjoyed your wit at the open mic, Joel, and it was just delightful to hear a complete collection. Wonderful. And please put in the chat how to get your book.
okay, let me drop that into the chat right now.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Well, thanks again so much. And
Thank
we'll
you.
stop recording. We'll stop recording in a moment. And those of you in the Zoom room, please stay online if you'd like to take part in the open mic. And thanks to all our YouTube listeners. Please tune in for our next regular Coastside Poetry event on Tuesday, June 11th, when we'll welcome our own Corey Weinstein as a feature. So thanks again so much for joining us at Coastside Poetry and for helping to keep the lamps of poetry burning.